Okay. Uh, Fine. So today I'm going to share the link after the class where you will need to upload all of your assignments, that is for the Linux and for the data communication and also the lab. I am going to share the link right after the class into the group where you will need to share it. Okay. There will be a time limited. I will inform all the things. After that time, the submission will be stopped automatically. So those who are telling me or who are going to request me that I have missed the time, please open it. I am not going to entertain any type of those requests because the time will be enough to submit your file into the given link. Fine. Now, so what we are talking about the digital signal process. The data rate and the signal rate we have talked there. The digital signals and the data element and the signal element, all the things. Now, as the characteristic we are talking one by one, there is a characteristic. What are the characteristic of the digital signal? And one I have talked the digital signal with respect to the signal element, the data element and the signal element. Next, there is a bandwidth. We have already familiar with the term bandwidth because I have already discussed about this many times. So our digital signal with respect to the bandwidth, this digital signal is a form or that carries information, right? So bandwidth here plays a role. This bandwidth provides the process, the speed, the how much bandwidth we can provide into the given channel or whatever the channel we have got here. So what is the maximum speed that can be achievable with respect to that? That can be achievable with respect to that, right? So bandwidth is the term or the characteristic of a data signal. It is characteristic in every signal out of it is actually characteristic of the transmission mode, the transmission path we have choose. Base next, that is the baseline wandering. Next characteristic here with respect to the signals, that is baseline wandering. This while we are decoding, so encoding happens at the signal side, sender side, and decoding happens at the receiver side. So while the thing decoding goes on into the receiver side, the receiver actually calculates the time, that average running time to receive the signal, how much time it is taking to receive the signal, that is in the decoding part. This average, the average of this particular time, the run time, we can say the average run time of the process to receive the signal is known as this baseline. The average is known as the baseline. So what is the baseline? That is average run time to receive the signal, average runtime to receive the signal. Next, that is DC components, that is the data components we can talk about. So our voltage level, that is the 0 and 1, we are considering it as a voltage level into a signal, digital signal is constant for a particular time. We can see that while the 0 is moving and while the 1 is moving, it is actually going for a particular time constant, right? It is moving up to a particular part. So the receiver or the process, the constant process, it goes for a while, and the spectrum, that is in a low frequency or in a higher frequency. So this frequencies either in the part of 0 or in the part of 1, right? So these frequencies that is around the 0 and the 1 in between, this is called as the DC components or the direct current component. So signal is just a current flowing. So what is the current? The flow of the signal. So this is called a direct current component. while some constant part it is there for a particular time constant, and then it moves to the higher part or it gradually decrease to the lower part. So this is a part that is the characteristic of a digital signal. Then there is a part that is the built-in error detection. It has the facility or it has the capability to be or to detect the error itself. So we can talk it as a built-in error detection. Then we can say self-synchronization is the process. The synchronization is going on between the 0 and 1. So if there is zero flow of 0, then it is synchronized as 0. If it is 1, that is synchronizing as them 1. Right? Then there is immunity to noise and interfere. So these are the characteristics for each and every part of the digital signal that is helping us to move the process. Right? This line coding, we are talking about the line coding process. In this part, there are some categorized, the things have categorized into some particular process. That is basically three. There are basically three processes. First one is the unipolar. Second one is known as the polar. And third one is known as the bipolar. And third one is known as the bipolar. Right. So unipolar, polar, and bipolar, these are the three parts in the process of this line coding scheme. So we are not going to discuss about too much about this line coding scheme, that unipolar, polar, and bipolar. We are going to discuss in our next classes, because as it was ended in previous class in a rough way. So I have just tried to complete the rest of the part. So that's why the session again, and there is no class offer. So I have tried to continue this particular part. So this unipolar, polar, and bipolar, these are the categories of line coding scheme that we are going to discuss in our next class, means tomorrow's class, right? So nothing, no more discussion on this part of data communication today. These are the part we are going to discuss here today, right? So now, one thing that is in our classes of Linux, okay, in the classes of Linux, we have talked just nothing but just a discussion, smaller discussion, because Linux class is here tomorrow. So just a smaller discussion on the part of the Linux. So we are talking, or we are describing, I have given some assignment to you people for the Linux part and for also the data communication and the lab. So the commands and all the things. So we are discussing currently now on the topic of shell, the how to process a shell, how to make a shell, how to run it, running a shell script, the interactive programs, all the things, creating a shell script. So I have shown you an example in the previous class that how a shell script can be run, how a shell script we can write actually into the editor, what are the syntax tests, what are the things, all the things are actually present, right? So this is the part or goes on like this. Can anyone tell me that what are the questions or assignment given into your Linux assignment? What are the question is given? Anyone? Can anyone tell me?
Yes, sir.
Just tell me that what are the questions that I have given in your assignment?
So first is what are the important features of Linux operating system?
Fine.
Second one is what do you understand by the term shell in Linux? Third one is how can you justify the term flexibility in Linux? Fourth one is what is kernel? What do you understand by process? Write the process of commands like ls command, cat command, mkdi command, and move command.
Okay, fine. So all the questions, all of the assignment questions are done by all. Or if anyone have any doubts regarding these questions, if anyone don't understand anything, anything, if I need to tell with the respect of this question, then you can tell me or ask me. Otherwise, if you have all done, then it is fine and good. Because the questions what I have given in your assignment that we have already studied, the first question is that what is again, can you repeat? First is what is the question?
What are the important features of Linux
Yes.
operating system?
What is the important features of the Linux? So I have told that the important features of the Linux, that is the portability, it is open source, it can do the multi-program, multi-user thing, it have a hierarchy of file system, shell, security. These are the features in the term of the Linux. So with respect to Linux, these are the features that are present in our Linux programming. Second question, I think that how do you justify the term flexibility or something like this? I think, right? So flexibility, we can talk about that Linux. It is very we can do several high performance programs in the desktop, but depending the operating system size is very small. So we can have a dual boot option. So this the operating system as is the size is very small, and it for the security purpose it is very much secure. But still we can do a lot of high level programming with this. So this in the term of flexibility is justified in the term of the Linux. Okay, then I think there are some commands are given just like rm mv. So what is the purpose of this command? I have discussed many times. Then there is a question, what is kernel? So kernel is the heart of the Linux. In just a general term, if you are talking about, so kernel is the heart of the Linux, but the kernel is basically responsible to do all the process or to manage all the process. So these are the information or these are the questions that is given to your assignment, which is very easy, and I hope all of you have done it. So after the class, I am going to share the link where you people need to send it, where you people need to put the file into a PDF mode. Okay, no image or nothing. PDF mode with the proper name, that your name, branch, roll number, and the subject. Means if it is suppose I give an example, that is Akash Chandra Khan, that is the 5th semester CSE, and the subject, if it is for the Linux, then Linux assignment. If it is for DC, for the DC assignment, and if it is for the Linux lab, this is for the Linux lab assignment. Okay, so by this particular name, you people need to put it into the given link. Fine. So any doubts?
So about lab report.
Yeah. See?
So how can we write a lab report? And you have given one question.
I didn't understand what you are asking. Can you
So
repeat
you
it?
have given one question. Write a calculator program using Nano Editor.
Okay. So first, let me ask
Didn't
you
understand that.
that at the time of lab, whether you were present in the lab.
No, so that day I was not present, but I asked some of them who were present, and they were also unable to make me understand that. How to write.
So anyone will like to answer Muskan's question? Anyone who have done it?
Sorry, sir, didn't get the question.
That in the Linux lab assignment, I have given a question that write a calculator program using an editor. Right. So how it can be done?
Yes, sir. Can I explain?
Yes, Rohit.
First, we have to write a program for the calculator, like in C language or different language. And then using the Linux terminal, we have to run that and show the output in the screen.
Okay. So you didn't tell the basic process. You just go for the coding at first. But what is the basic? What is the starting process? First, we need to open the editor. We need to open the editor by some editor command. If I'm using the VI editor, so it is VI the file name with the extension of the particular program. So VI, if the file name is ABC, then .c. C is the extension by which we are trying to create a C program.
Excuse me, sir.
Riya, your
So we need to do that with Nano Editor.
Yes,
so
sir,
it
in
is
Nano Editor.
So for that, a nano command, that is nano, then the file name, and then .c. No issue that whatever the editor you are using, it can be VI editor, it can be nano editor. Yeah.
So there are different editors. We can use any one of them.
Yes.
But Nano is
go for
maybe best. But the Nano is easy and graphical, so we can do it easily.
Yes, means there are several type of editors, but nano will be much easy to handle. So that's why I have mentioned that nano editor. But if you choose any other options, any other editor, you can write it, no issue on that. But as I have shown the example, if you go through the lab records that is available in the YouTube, you will see that I have shown you the example in the nano editor. So that's why I have given the term, or I have given the assignment in nano editor. It's not like that you will need to do only in nano editor. You can do it in any other editor. Okay, if you have any problem, you can refer to the lab session where I have shown the total process, that how a C program can be run via the terminal using the editor, and how the thing can be done, how the output can be calculated, how we can show the output. The whole process is described, and the video is available in the YouTube under the section of CSE YouTube channel in the playlist of Linux. Okay, so you can refer that and you can find out that. Okay.
So we have to put the screenshot of the
No, not at all. If it is available, if you have the facility to run the program and do the thing, that is fine. But I have said that the things need to be handwritten, so no need to put any type of screenshot. You need to write the program. You need to write the process, starting from that the command of editor to insert into the editor, getting out of the editor, run the program, how to run the program, the command for that, the whole process, not any type of screenshot.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So where we have to submit the assignment?
I am going to share the link after the class, just after the class. Okay, within 5 to 10 minutes, I am going to share the link. Each of the category will be divided, and in that particular, you need to put the assignment.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, so I think it is enough for today, and we are having all the discussion. So thank you all for joining into the session. I have marked who are present. I have the attendance with me. So those who have responded, only those attendance will be counted, and those who didn't responded at the time of attendance, so their attendance will not be marked. Okay, so fine. Thank you all for joining into the session. We will meet again in tomorrow's class.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.